He's driving well in the back?
Yeah?
Yeah, he's smoking quite a bit at the exhaust.
Yeah, that's true.
So he hasn't run that well yet, and he doesn't smell like gasoline either. Yes, guys, welcome back to a new episode of TWINS TV. In the previous episode about the Ferrari, you saw that we made our engine almost as good as new again. Except for one thing, which is our timing belt that we still need to replace. Ours is pretty old, and it's also a bit out of sync, and maybe that's why the engine isn't running well. And I'm curious if we can fix that in this episode. We have a lot of work to do, so I say enough talking, let's lift the car up. Because my special tool that I made is still attached to the car, which I used to lock the crankshaft. So let's take that off, and then we can continue setting the timing belt. Put on the locking pliers and replace the belts. Let's go. High quality tools, guys. Normally about 600 euros if you have to buy them from Ferrari. And that's how much work it was, I think about an hour and a half, nicely earned. Yeah, guys, you're not happy with the 10-minute videos, huh? That an episode only lasts 10 minutes. Those are just episodes that we shoot in a whole day, in 8 hours, and that's one episode for you guys.
And even that's not it, right? Some of them actually take 2 days.
Exactly, and on top of that, we can make the videos longer for you guys, stretch them out a bit. That's maybe something we'll do in the future to entertain you a bit more. Wait, I'm forgetting something important. Of course, I have to write down that it's a special tool and that it's from Ferrari. That's really important. Otherwise, they'll think it's just a simple steel thing, but now it's the real deal. Everyone will recognize this as a special tool. It's the most important thing. Now I can work with peace of mind.
It should also work better this way, don't you think?
100%, 100%. Well, we're on. My locking key is out. That means we're going to lower the car. It's time for top dead center, cylinder number 1. Then we'll check the marking, which should line up perfectly. And then we'll check the camshaft, how it's positioned, and if that's correct, it's time to quickly remove our diesel pump. Because that's the marking on the block, and that's the line on the camshaft. Well, we think that one cam on the exhaust isn't positioned correctly, so we're going to turn it to that spot once we've taken off the belt. For now, this is the correct setting for us. You can actually see that none of the marks are lined up, but we can set it so that all the marks are lined up with each other. But then, at the camshaft, it's actually not properly timed, although we could still replace it like this. But we prefer to use the factory markings that are on the camshaft, and we're going to make our own markings with my wife's nail polish. Nice red isn't ugly. We're going to mark this real quick, guys. Let's go. I hope she doesn't miss this thing from her makeup kit. Ooh, this reminds me of that romantic evening. It looks just like blood, guys, blood.
Yeah, that's in there. Blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, you can definitely say that. I can't mark that yet since something still needs to go there. And now, Ferrari special tool, and they won't believe it's a Ferrari special tool, but I'll just insert the document here to show you how it works, guys. Don't over-tighten or the pulleys may bend, but make sure they're secure. Now, tensioners, no tension, with those pins through them and the belt off, right?
Yeah, I think that second nail is much thinner.
Yeah, it's really playing with danger to your own life. Fortunately, we don't have to reuse these tensioners. We have new original ones from Ferrari, of course, and we pretty much have everything ready. I can loosen the 17 for a moment. Tension off, belt off. I think you guys are excited at home too. I'm super excited as well. This is really something we've been looking forward to for a long time. We're going to fix the beast. It could also be that there's stretch in that belt due to age, and that's why it's misfiring. It only needs to be off by a few millimeters to run badly. Alright, we're going to compare the old parts with the new ones for a moment. Obviously, it's super important to check that. Even though they're genuine Ferrari parts, I just assume they're good. But still, better safe than sorry. Alright, after having a heated discussion here at the table, we figured out that this isn't the one and that this is the right one. Check how old this tensioner is. So this one is from 2001. March, first day of March 2001, and that one is from 2022. September the 1st, so this one is from September 1st. Of course, we also ordered new bolts. We didn't know what we were going to find, how it would turn out, so we just got those new. Guys, it's a new day here, and yesterday we worked late to put the belt on, so it's on now. The only thing left to do on the left side is to adjust the tension. Because it's a tensioner that has to be pre-tensioned, and then the tensioner does the rest, right?
Yeah, and actually we've been saying all along that it's a hydraulic tensioner. It's not a hydraulic tensioner, it's just a tensioner with a spring system inside. We always believed it used oil pressure, but that's not true.
Now it's just about adjusting to the right tension. We'll show you how soon, since you'll need an app on your phone. And you use it to measure the frequency, and by using the pitch, you adjust the tension on the string, which is really special. We'll set it correctly on the left first, then repeat on the right. And then, hopefully we'll start this thing up and see if the issue with the engine running poorly has been fixed. This episode is really exciting, even for us, right, Don?
Definitely. Will he start it up this episode?
Absolutely. We just downloaded an app in which you can measure the hertz, and we need this to determine the voltage. Of the string, how tight it is, you can basically just pluck it like this. So then we end up, let's say, at 80 plus 117, 120. Then you end up with 200 hertz in total. And I think that's exactly within the specs that the manufacturer gives for the correct tension of the string. And now it's just time to take this one off. The locking pliers, like this, we don't need them right now, and we're going to take the locking pliers off on the other side as well. We're going to turn the engine 2 times, so that it actually comes back exactly to the same position. Once it's in position, we'll check all the values again, then we need to let this sit for about 2 to 10 minutes. Because it's possible that the belt might stretch a little, and then we'll check the measurement one more time, but I have a feeling this is going to go just fine. Is it loose?
No?
No, but this is not a joke.
No way, no way.
This is really just no joke, I'm literally getting goosebumps.
No way, that's why the right string is so loose. No way, the tensioner is just loose on the right frame.
What we've done is, we're doing side by side. The left side is completely finished now, and we just want to do the right side, as long as the thread isn't damaged. Proof for the new owner later that it's all really been done. The moment has arrived. So we've rebuilt the engine, a new gasket, a new timing belt, we've had the injectors checked. Was this the problem? As you saw, the left bank, the timing belt, was completely loose. The tensioner, that bolt, you could just unscrew it by hand, which is bizarre. That likely explains why it ran poorly on the left bank and the timing was off. We definitely found some issues. But now comes the question, is the car going to run well? Okay? Okay.
Now just the exhaust left.
We're evaporating again, man.
It's still not working, huh?
No, I have to say it's running a bit better, but the problem still isn't solved. So that suggested something completely different. But anyway, like I said last time, that smell, oh my god, it's like he's just pouring pure fuel into the exhaust, so, oh my god. And then it burns a little because it does get warm. But oh, this is really bad. All those hours we spent on this, Don, weren't wasted.
No, but still, I made a nice disclaimer beforehand, right? People, don't worry.
That's true. The Ferrari ran really well at first, but as the cold start faded, we noticed it started to sputter a bit. I'm convinced the timing is set correctly now. We're going to reassemble that part now. As you can see, parts are scattered everywhere, and I want to get everything back on the car to make it whole again. The serpentine belt that goes to the alternator can go on, and the serpentine belt for the air conditioning can go on as well. We can finish that part completely, wrap it up, the covers can go on, because I'm sure that's all set up correctly. So this one is also on the block. And now the Ferrari Special Tool A, 600 euros. Tightening it is going to be difficult, I think. 200 Newton meters. That crankshaft bolt, ladies and gentlemen, 200 Newton meters. That's almost the limit of my torque wrench. Yeah, that really says something, it really does. Luckily, we do a bit of fitness. Hope my special tool works well. No, that really needs to be secured. Oh. Yeah, that's definitely secured. 200 Newton meters, guys. Okay, guys, we're back in the workshop. It's a new day. And you know what's really cool? It's this. Ta-da! It snowed, guys. I thought, let's put the Honda outside and get some nice shots of the Honda in the snow. And yeah, this is of course a unique opportunity because how often does it snow in the Netherlands? So let's capture it on camera. He's cold too. Okay guys, it was fun for a bit, but now we're getting back to work on the Ferrari. Yesterday, I got in touch with the creator of our ACUS, actually, the one who originally wanted to make the computers for this Ferrari. He said that the soldering on this type of computer actually needs to be redone, since the solder they used back then was different, and these can start to corrode. Unfortunately, this turned out not to be the case. He didn't do his research properly, so that's not possible. What I did find out is something really strange about this Ferrari, actually about all 360s. That the computer on the right side is for the left bank, and the one on the left side, or the left computer, is for the right bank. So we haven't checked the right computer yet, we also haven't checked the connectors, and we haven't checked the ground points yet. We assumed, as with the Lamborghini, that the left computer controlled the left bank and the right computer the right bank. But with the Ferrari 360, it's different. It's the other way around. Typical Ferrari, they always want to do things differently. Anyway, we're now going to check the computer on the right bank, and if that's not it, we still have other ideas. So we're going to keep investigating here, and hopefully we'll find the problem. Because yeah, then we can finally just enjoy driving that Ferrari. And of course, change our oil and do all those kinds of things. So let's get started quickly. Let's go. It was a bit of a struggle, but we've got it.
And what actually is it for the viewers?
Yes, this is actually the crankcase ventilation valve. It makes sure you can't build up excess pressure in your crankcase. If this one is defective, we have two here. Then it can happen that moisture builds up in your crankcase and also in your engine oil. And that's exactly what's happening with us. We're now going to look at this one, test if it really opens or stays closed. Just lubricate it completely with brake cleaner, WD-40 I think, as much as possible. Shall we take a look at what it looks like inside?
It's not very expensive, it's 57 euros.
We don't have it ourselves, but if you just clean it, there's a valve inside and it works perfectly. It kind of sticks or something, you know? It's not like, do you hear that? Yeah, it just... This is actually just how smoothly it should go, I think so too. But it also closes, right? It seals. Even when I blow, it just closes like this. Black lip man, haha. Okay, so this is the reason we're checking this, right? As you guys know, the other one was acting weird and this one is just completely sealed. Try sucking on this one. We know what you're asking, right? Sucking, I don't just do that, man. Oh my god. It does work though. See if it goes into gear, give it a little gas. First gear.
It's not working.
It's not working.
The engine malfunction light is blinking again.
Just leave it on, just leave it on. Yeah, there's literally fuel coming out of that left exhaust, man. Just let it run for a bit. It runs well in the back.
Yeah?
Yes. Does this one fit the exhaust?
Yes, it does. That's good. There's just as much smoke coming out from the left and the right.
Why don't you feel that exhaust then?
Hot. A bit warm. It's smoking because it's hot now. It doesn't smell bad now either.
Guys, this looks really good. So we've decided to disconnect the lambda zones because it was giving an error when reading them, and to disconnect the mass airflow sensors. If you disconnect those two things, it basically runs on the map programmed into the computer, so not on the values it reads. What's strange is, we don't have any errors, well, on the dashboard, so no check engine light. Which is good, so it hasn't run yet, and it also doesn't smell like gasoline. Yeah, it's smoking quite a bit of condensation, but now we're going to let it warm up the car. I'm curious to see how it performs later, now that it can release pressure through the crankcase ventilation. I think the new gaskets are what you smell. It looks sick, right? Temperatures, okay?
Yeah.
Just turn on the heater fan inside, see if it gets warm.
High temperature?
Good.
Good job.
So you can probably tell by looking at me, I'm incredibly hyped. We heard the Ferrari running, and it's never run as well as it just did. We're totally excited. We can actually breathe in the workshop. Both exhausts got just as warm. So we just disconnected the mass airflow sensors and the first lambda sensors both left and right. And then we actually know that it's basically running in a base map setting. When everything is connected, that car needs certain values that it uses to regulate itself. And if a component fails or is broken, it gets incorrect values, causing it to inject too much fuel. And that was also the case for us. We just noticed that too much fuel was being injected, causing incomplete combustion. That's why our eyes started to water. After some research, of course, we had that polyvinyl chloride valve, or the positive crankcase ventilation, whatever. We cleaned the crankcase ventilation and noticed there was a blockage in it. That could explain the excess condensation in the oil and why our head gasket remained intact. Of course, in the next episode, we'll continue with the Ferrari and we'll drive it on public roads. We can use the neighbor's license plates again, which is super nice. And we're curious to see how much moisture is in the oil later when we drain it again. Are you curious? Then make sure to subscribe and give us a thumbs up. Because if our head gasket is still broken, then we've got more work on our hands than we ever thought. And we've already taken a big step in the right direction by doing the timing belt. Because now we know for sure that at least the belt won't snap and that we can keep the engine intact. So yeah, I'm super hyped and stay tuned for the test drive in the next episode.